I'm in Kabul. So, those of you guys who are not familiar, I am actually on a relief deployment where basically we collect and we go and distribute to those who are needy. So, at the moment, I'm in Afghanistan, was in Pakistan for a couple of days ago. Now I'm in Afghanistan and we are distributing to different areas. So today is day two, which is Friday. So you're watching this. It's Friday, and we had Juma today. Just a little breakdown. So Friday in the morning, we didn't do any distribution. So got up for Sahri, did Sahri. Then after Sahri, went to sleep because very tired from yesterday. As I mentioned to you guys, I was exhausted from a long 6 hour on the road traveling. Went to sleep after Sahri. I woke up about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and um, then we got ready for Jum'ah. So then we went to a local mosque for Jum'ah. Now, the mosque is obviously they do a lot of checking. So, because in this country people are allowed to carry weapons with them, the weapons were kept in this. So as soon as you enter, there is like a section where you have to give your weapons in, and then you get this like a receipt or a slip. You show them at the end, and they give you back. Like in some mosques, you have shoe safekeeping kind of place. Well, this is like that. So they search you as soon as you enter. They search you. I had my camera on me, so my DJI camera. It's like handheld. So they didn't know what that was, and they told me you can't bring it in because they weren't sure. So anyway, I had to put it back in the car, and then came inside. The same. They have a similar sort of format like we have, where you have a talk in the local language, then you have the khutbah, then you have the prayer, salat, and so the talk and mashallah the mosque outside. I prefer seeing outside because it was a nice, lovely day, like nice sun. The weather is very good here. Morning is cold, but in the daytime nice and hot. The sun is out, and so we sat there, and it was about 50, 60 minutes maybe. Yeah, maybe the whole thing. And mashallah, we saw the people coming in, and it was very nice. And generally the like you can imagine like typical Afghanistan sort of like style where they'll either have like a turban on their head or they'll have some sort of scarf on their head, or they have these kind of hats. I don't know if you've seen those Sindhi hats. Right? It's got like it's a hat, but the front of it's got like an arch at the front, so it's quite common for them to wear that hat. And yeah, so they did the Jumu'ah, and a lot of them are quite tall, so like well over 6 foot and strongly built, and they're all like giving their weapons in, and they came for the Jummah, and then eventually at the end they finished Salat. Interestingly, unlike what we see in many masjids in the UK, they don't make dua after Salat. It's like dua, congregational dua. They didn't make that after Salat. I've seen that in quite a few other places. They don't make dua after Salat. Um, but they did do dua after the local talk. So the talk they did in Pashto, they did dua after that. That was an interesting observation there. So then after that, we jumped into the car. There's a lot of, unfortunately, poor people on the streets who sell you things, sell you pens, or they ask for money, handouts. So anyway, we quickly got into the car, and then we had to go straight from there to the next location. Next location was about, I think maybe about 40 minutes away drive. So we got there, and I took some pictures as well, and I sent it to the Telegram the Telegram was it on WhatsApp? I can't remember. Anyway, I'll put up day two shorts on my YouTube, so you can check that out. You can check out what happened, and the scenery is just amazing. Honestly, it's like these mountains in the distance with snow on there. You know, unfortunately, the country financially doesn't have the ability, but if it was a Western country, you would definitely see them exploiting the scenery and having resorts and all these things. Yeah, it's very scenic. Like the camera doesn't do justice, unfortunately. So I try to make some pictures of those. Then we got to the location. It was basically um, like outside of a madrasa. So there was a madrasa there for kids, and then there was outside for families. So 100 food packs were given out. So one food pack basically kind of provides the family, depending on how many individuals are there, provides them with um, like about a month, maybe 3 weeks of food, which is a good amount. I mean, if you're struggling over there. So we got to meet some of the people. There were unfortunately some people there who were orphans, um, and they came to pick up food. Some elderly people as well. There were a lot of ladies there who came to pick up food as well. So alhamdulillah, we just managed to distribute the food. And then again, it was they have a plan of how they do it. So we obviously, as people coming from the UK, we don't know over there who requires the food packs. So the charity that's on the ground does that job for us. So they are basically able to locate the people that require it, and then they distribute. So they have like this group on the ground that figures everything out for us. So all we have to do is just send the funds. They will buy the food parcels, and then they will organize it all, and they'll contact the people, and then it's all very well organized, alhamdulillah. So anyway, we were there until about what time? Maybe like about 3:30 or so. Then after that, we set off for the next place. The next place was going to a madrasa, kids madrasa, where they memorized the Quran and the Quran. And that was, so it was at 3:40, maybe we left. We got there in about an hour and 20 minutes. So that's other side of Kabul. And I mean, like about 880, is it feet or meters? I don't know. I think it's feet. 880 above sea level, so it's high up. And then some parts is even higher. That's why you can see these snow-capped mountains. So on my watch, I can actually tell the barometer readings. Like it tells you, depending where you go, how high your elevation goes and how low it goes. So this place is quite high up. You can feel the ears start getting like that sensation, blocking. So we went there. We, mashallah, met the kids. We listened to the recitation of Quran. It's very nice. And then we distributed. So it's food, basically hot food, hot meals, because they probably don't get to eat that kind of food very often. So we were able to distribute the food there, and yeah, that's basically that was it. Then from there we broke our fast on the way back, and we got back as soon as possible, and then we had our iftar, prayed Maghrib, had our iftar with the charity over there. So the charity ones that basically provide us with nice iftar meal. It was a bit, it's for them, mashallah, they're going out of the way. It was not as fancy as yesterday's. Yesterday was very fancy. That was too much. But it's very nice. Meat. I mean, I love meat. Yeah. And so I ate, as you know, I like eating meat. So I ate, and then we had tea, and then they just give you loads of tea. They have this two types of tea, a Soleimani tea and a different tea. Yeah. So Soleimani tea is like green tea, and they have this kind of, I think it's just a tea without milk in there or something. I don't know what it is. And they give all these kind of little sweet things as well. And then after that, we sat down with the guys. They have this massive area where everyone sits. Like, have you seen those Arab seating, those cushions around the room? So they have something like that, and everyone just sits and talks to each other. It's a very nice kind of atmosphere, and it's very, very chilled out. Like the guys are like they're really kind of accommodating. There's no takalluf. There's no kind of like artificiality or formalities. You feel comfortable there. So we're talking, then talking about different projects that we do and what they do and what kind of projects possibly we can do in the future there as well. Like starting schools in Afghanistan, that's one possibility that we can do, just like the ones that we've got in Pakistan. Could possibly start something like that in Afghanistan, replicate it, and that would provide a very good, strong education, both boys and girls as well. So yes, that was that, and then we prayed Isha, And then after Isha, we came back and we had tea, like the milk tea, because they make milk tea for us because we're used to it. Had milk tea, and then after that, we just chatting. One of the guys in our group wanted to go to the barbers, so we went there. They gave a massage as well. I felt like having one, but then just forget it. Tomorrow, inshallah, have a proper massage. And that's it. And came back to the hotel. So overall, mashallah, is a very productive day. Tomorrow's going to be another long, probably 6 hour on the road again. It's a long journey. An interesting point. I put up something today on my social media that Imam Abu Hanifa was originally from Kabul. Right, so many of the historians actually mention this, that his father, his grandfather, actually came from Kabul. Now, speaking to one of the guys who so in Afghanistan, there's various different. There's about 36 different provinces in Afghanistan. I think it's 36 different provinces, like different areas, like you have in the UK, you have the Midlands and you have Yorkshire and all that. So you have very different provinces, 36 of them. And so Imam Hanifa rahimahullah was from a place called Barwan, a province called Barwan, which is actually outside of Kabul. And I don't know how accurate his statement was about this, but he was saying he was from there, in a place called Chiragha, something like that. Chiragha. So maybe if he was from there, maybe when people say he's from Kabul, as in Kabul was the general name. Like people say this guy's from London, even though he's from Manchester or Birmingham. But they mean is like he's from England. So that was an interesting one there, alhamdulillah. And I mentioned when they pray this salat, most of them I've seen who pray raise their finger. They don't clasp it like this. They don't do that. They just either they don't raise the finger or they just raise the finger and put it back down again in tashahud. Yeah, so I heard about that in Afghanistan. That was quite common because their Hanafi fiqh actually is from the areas known as Balakh is above that. Balakh. All right, so this is like, Mawara and Nahar, where Imam Hidayah was from. So Imam Hidayah was from a bit north. So this is like Khurasan area, the Khurasan. Transox, what is it called? Transoxiana. So they were from that part. Anyway, that was a rundown of what we did today, alhamdulillah. Let me know if there's anything else that you guys want me to check out or ask around as well. I'll let you know as well. And a lot of the things, I think there's a lot of stereotyping and there's a lot of propaganda, obviously, from the media side regarding what's happening over here. And they naturally will obviously anger you and make you think that the government over here, the people over here, are, not really kind of taking care of the people. I mean, I can remember before we used to hear things like TV's banned in Afghanistan. I mean, in reality, it's not. TV's almost everywhere, and that pictures are banned. In fact, you'll see people with, pictures, even the security forces with pictures on their shoulders. So it's a bit of a kind of strange one, that is. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, like I said, tomorrow the last full day. Then Sunday's flight back home. So let me know, inshallah, what kind of things you would be interested in seeing or hearing, maybe. And I can let you know, inshallah. I mean, I don't know how easy it is for people to actually come and visit Afghanistan. Probably can do it, but the problem is it would always be best to have a guide over here, someone you know over here. That way it's easy to travel because the language barriers and customs and culture, all these things. Yeah, so that was it, guys. Wa alaikum salam, alhamdulillahi, ala ameen. May Allah bless you with that, alhamdulillah, and give you barakah in your wealth and your health and save you from problems and calamities. Assalamu alaikum, Azmol. I'll accept you. Ameen. I've got a small question. Is Qiyamul Layl permissible in Hanafi madhab? Yes, inshallah. As long as it's not done with like in a way that's the 5 times salat are done. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Okay, your name is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That's a strange name. Oh, your name is Jamil, sorry. Your name is Jamil. أهلا وسهلا. فإني طالب علم من كندا واستفدت كثيرا من دروس القدور. تقول آمين آمين جزاك الله خير. In the tea. Actually, I don't know, but I assume it's cow's milk. Yeah, I assume it'll be because I've never seen any buffaloes around here. I've seen cows. Haven't seen any buffalo, but I don't know. I'll have to check that one. Walaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, man fado. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. If there's anything that you guys, like I said, want, then put it in the comments, inshallah, and I'll try to um, see if I can get some information about it. I mean, the currency exchange is very good. It's like £1 is about 90 odd Afghan rupees, so it's very strong, mashallah. Is your granddad from Afghanistan? No, my granddad's not from Afghanistan. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I'll have a bit of rest. All right, take care, everybody. Rami duas. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.